guys, it's Hinda and welcome to a new video on Cooking Fantasies. Today's recipe is this delicious and dreamy no-bake cheesecake with coconuts and almond, inspired from the delicious Raffaello confections that are made of coconut, almonds and a delicious light milk cream. So if you like the Raffaello confections, you're gonna love this cheesecake. I tried to recreate the whole experience of textures and flavors with a very light and delicious milk cream with a nice crunchy base that's also very flavorful with the almonds and of course a lot of coconut. Before we start, and as always, I'm gonna be leaving you down in the description box the recipe with all the ingredients you're gonna need in both the grams and the cups measurements, as well as the link to the full recipe where you can also print it. And if you are visiting the channel for the first time, we make a lot of delicious and easy recipes, so make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell to get notified whenever a new recipe is up, and let's get started. We're gonna start by preparing the base, which is very flavorful. So in addition to the biscuits, I'm gonna add the coconut and some toasted almonds. And I'm using a food processor to ground everything together until you have a fine mixture. It is important to toast the almonds because this enhances the flavor so much and you're gonna taste it in your cheesecake. Once everything is nicely processed together, I'm gonna add the melted butter and mix everything together one more time till you have this wet sand texture. I used a circle that has 20 centimeters in diameter, that's about 8 inches, and I'm going to assemble my cheesecake directly on the serving plate, or you can also assemble it on a piece of parchment paper. The acetate roll here is not important. I'm using it because I have an adjustable ring that might leak my mixture, and to avoid that I'm using it, but if you're using a normal round circle, that you don't need to use any acetate. Add the biscuits mixture and press it slightly until it's firm and holds together. Of course, for this you can use any kind of biscuits. I use butter biscuits. You can use coconut or almond biscuits if you find it will even enhance the flavor. It's even better. Use the back of a glass to press it enough to make sure that it holds shape when we cut through it, and then place it in the fridge to set until we need it. And meanwhile, let's make the cream cheese. Don't forget that you're gonna find all the ingredients down in the description box. I used some gelatin plumes here, but this is only an option. You can do this recipe without gelatin. You're gonna have to make some changes, of course, to the recipe, but you're gonna find all this information down in the description box. So while my gelatin is blooming with the cold water, I'm going to chop the white chocolate. We need the chocolate melted, and I always like to chop the chocolate before melting it. That way it melts faster without overheating. And you can melt the chocolate either in a microwave or on a double boiler. Meanwhile, we will prepare the rest of the ingredients. So I have here the gelatin that has bloomed. You can use also gelatin sheets or do it without gelatin. Like I said, just make sure to check the recipe and you will have everything explained. And to the gelatin, I'm going to be adding heavy cream and coconut milk. Bring the saucepan on a medium heat and keep stirring until all the gelatin melts. And as soon as I remove it from the heat, we're going to be adding this mixture of gelatin, heavy cream and coconut milk to the melted chocolate on 3 times while continuously stirring in between. We're using just a spatula. Once everything is well combined, you want to leave it on the side until it cools, and let's make the cream cheese. The cream cheese should be in room temperature, and we're gonna mix it just enough till it's creamy. Once the cheese is creamy, we're going to add the first mixture of white chocolate ganache while continuously mixing, and you want to do this on 3 goes. I really like a combination of cream cheese and mascarpone cheese, but you can still do it with only cream cheese or only mascarpone, or a combination like I did. And I always give you many options because I believe a recipe is never sacred, and you should be able to change things and do according to what's available to you. I forgot to mention, but I added 3 drops of almond extract to my cream cheese mixture. If you have it, go ahead and add it, but not more than 3 to 4 drops. If you don't have it, you can skip it. Once you have combined all the white chocolate ganache into the cream cheese, you're going to leave it on the side, and let's prepare the whipped cream. As always, the heavy cream should be very cold in order to have a nice whipped cream with a very good texture. I always start by mixing the heavy cream until it starts getting foamy, and then add the icing sugar and finish mixing until it's nice and firm. If you don't want to make your own whipped cream, you can use store-bought ready whipped cream. And to incorporate it into the mixture, I'm first going to add some of my chocolate and cream cheese mixture to the whipped cream. That way it's easier to incorporate, and I'm going to gently fold it in. Make sure your white chocolate ganache and cream cheese mixture is not warm and it's at least in room temperature before mixing it with the whipped cream. And now that I have folded this little quantity of the cream cheese and white chocolate ganache into the whipped cream, it's gonna be easier to combine everything together. So go ahead and add what you just prepared to the rest of the cream cheese and white chocolate preparation, and gently fold everything together. And immediately pour the delicious cream cheese mixture over the crust. And place it in the fridge to set for at least 4 hours if you are using the gelatin, and 6 hours if not. My cheesecake is ready. It has been chilling in the fridge. If you have assembled the cheesecake on a piece of parchment paper, you're gonna have to gently peel it off while it's still very cold. And then I'm going to gently peel off the acetate that you should only use if you are using an adjustable ring that doesn't hold all the mixture inside, otherwise it's not necessary, and reveal this beautiful, beautiful, dreamy, cloudy cheesecake. And then I'm going to generously add a lot of shredded coconut to the top and slightly tap it in so that it sticks. And since this cheesecake is inspired from the delicious Raffaello confections, which are literally surrounded and covered with coconut, we're gonna have to also add a lot of coconuts. And of course, since the Raffaello confections also contain bleached almonds, we're gonna add bleached almonds to the center. You can also add to the whole face of the cheesecake or just the sides, as you prefer to. When you bite into these delicious Raffaello treats, you have the crunchy wafers, the very light milk cream in the middle, the bleached almond, and a lot of coconuts outside. And this is exactly what we recreated in this cheesecake. Another option that I want to share with you is these small little individual cheesecakes. I personally think they are so beautiful, cute, and also practical. And using this very same recipe, you can make between 10 to 12 individual cheesecakes depending on how tall you make them. I decorated my cheesecake with some Raffaellos. This is optional, you can do it however you prefer to. And to know what to expect is a coconut cloud with almond note and a little crunchiness. It's so delicious, you're gonna love it, so make sure to try out this recipe soon. And if you do, please let me know how it turned out. I know I'm asking for that all the time, but I'm always happy to read your feedback. And again, don't forget to check the description box for the full list of the ingredients and also the link where you can print the recipe. And I thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the little bell to get notified whenever a new recipe is up, and see you soon in a new video. Happy baking!